Good morning. I'm Krista Edwards, and I'll be presenting on Mount Sinai today. Oh, sorry about that. All right. So Mount Sinai, it is really a mountain, and it's located right in this area right here. My mouse is. But it has a couple different names that it's mentioned by in the Bible. It's also known as Mount Horeb and Moses' mountain. So like I said, it's located here in the Sinai Peninsula, and the mountain they think is like right here. However, there are a bunch of scholars that are like unsure of the exact location of Mount Sinai. They can't pinpoint it exactly, but they believe it's right here. And there's a couple of people that believe it's over here in this area. According to the textbook, it's about right here. It's also across from the base of Mount Catherine. There's a big mountain range there, and the other mountain that is that was specified as Mount Catherine. That's right across from that. The biblical significance of Mount Sinai, here's a picture of it, what it looks like. This is where Moses encountered the burning bush. It was at the bottom of the mountain. And then the Lord summoned him back to the mountain to give him the law. And that was over a period of several years. It didn't all just happen at once. He gave him the laws and the Torah. And then one of the resources said that he ascended and descended the mountain 8 times over like 40 years, I believe it was. So he went up there quite a few times. And this is also the place where he received the 10 Commandments. Every time he would go, God would summon him, and he would hear from the Lord, and he would communicate back to his people whatever he heard from God. Also, another biblical character who we see dealing with Mount Sinai is Elijah. And I think most of those scriptures call it Mount Horeb instead of Sinai, but it's pretty much the same thing. So Elijah's running to the mountain in fear of his life in 1 Kings from Queen Jezebel. And the Lord meets him there and gives him some instruction on what to do next. So the way that God used geography in this situation, it was definitely a holy place. You can find that in Exodus 3 when Moses was encountering the burning bush. The Lord told him to take his shoes off because he was standing on holy ground. And I wasn't 100% sure. I couldn't find much about this in my research. So this right here is just some speculation. But I think that God used this specific location because it was holy and it was set apart. So I think that he called Moses up to the mountain so that the other people who weren't necessarily, we'll say, all out or on fire for him couldn't see his glory, because they knew that, or he knew that if he saw his glory, he knew that if the Israelites saw his glory, that they might not live. Also at Mount Sinai, it's where the Jews became a nation by pledging their allegiance to the Lord. So Moses goes up to the mountain and he's listening to hear from God, and God asked him to make a covenant with him, or like the whole nation, the whole people of Israel. And the Israelites accept his covenant. So that's where they become a nation. They pledge their allegiance to the Lord. And part of that is promising to listen and do everything that he asked them to do. Right, and here is the bibliography. Thank you.